everybody. Welcome.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Everyone's starting to come on in here. Sorry for the late start. We're just setting up in a new part of our office to get things going today. How are you doing today?
I'm great, actually. Yeah, I'm really excited for this webinar. Yeah, it's something that we've wanted to share for a long time. Just getting the final bits and pieces together, and yeah, very, very excited to take everyone through it. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and especially together.
I've missed it.
Yeah, it's nice. But together in the same spot, doing a webinar together. It is a very important webinar. We're launching one of our favorite features at the moment coming out of AR Connect and Captured, being the Wayfinding tool. We've been working on this for years, all in all, in terms of setting up AR Connect, all of the features with AR Connect, how it's integrated into Captured's Creator Studio, and now with Wayfinding, a plug and play tool, which is a world first in terms of being able to create this content without any development skills whatsoever. So really excited to dive in today. There's a few people still coming on in, but as we get started, just a few pieces of admin. I'm sure you've all been in 1,000,001 webinars and know these back to front, but just for those that may be new, we have a Q&A section and a chat section. Feel free to place any questions into the Q&A as we're going through the presentation today, and we'll either go answer the question as it comes up, or we'll get to it at the end. We've got a Q&A section at the end as well. And then in the chat section, feel free to put anything in there as well. We're looking at both of them as we're going. To get things going in the chat, would love to hear where you're tuning in from. So if you just want to put in your city or your country, where you're tuning in from today, it would be great to see.
Definitely.
We can do some shout outs to some of our customers as well.
Love that. Love that. So yeah, we'll just wait a tiny bit longer for everyone to trickle through. Oh, Wade from Melbourne, Australia.
Thanks for joining.
Who would have thought? Dapo from Manchester. Nice. My home country. Love it. Beautiful Sydney. We've got Andrew.
It must be beautiful because Melbourne's definitely not beautiful today. You can't see out our windows, but it's gloomy and very
freezing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely freezing. Oh, we've got Daniel from Osaka in Japan. Look at this, the worldwide crew. Love it.
Jose from Mexico. Welcome. We've got another few participants from London, Buenos Aires, from Argentina. Welcome.
Wow.
Some US, Fort Lauderdale. A good crew in today, a very good crew. Hello from France.
Love that.
Bonjour.
International, we're the big time.
Yeah, we're worldwide.
I love it.
All right, so let's dive in. We're going through a few things today around AR Connect. We're going to show you from start to finish how to create a wayfinding experience. And we've actually used our office as the base layer for this. And we'll go through a few reasons why, because we really wanted to put it through its tests. And it's kind of the most difficult environments is what we've tested for today, and we'll be showcasing you as well, so you can have reliability when you're doing it in a general museum or anywhere else. So what is AR Connect? Let's start from the start here. So AR Connect is a AR application that connects to Matterport digital twins. So we have been working in this space for almost a decade as a company, creating AR and VR experiences from our clients, and we realized there was a whole bunch of repeatable experiences that we were creating using Matterport. And so what we've done is we've built it into a plug and play tool within Captured. So scan your space that you want to activate. You go out on site and you create some alignment points, and we've got some updates on alignment points in this project, this presentation today. And then you add all of your experience in it. And so bring these things together, it's what we call a digital twin experience, or a DTX. And then once you're out on site, you bring your phone up, it uses the camera to be able to see where you're going, and you have the experience played right in front of you. Super straightforward, and we can do a lot of amazing experiences. We'll go through a few of them. This is just a bit of background of it again as well. And so some of these projects that we're working on at the moment, take your $500 or $1,000 scan and create an experience that you've been charging $20,000 to $100,000. We've got a few of these projects on the run at the moment. And what we're doing is creating a number of case studies to be able to showcase how you can use this and sell this into your local market. So we've got an amazing case study video that we're going to be releasing in the next few weeks with an educational partner. So showing how these tools can be used in school settings. There's a video that we'll show, and you may have seen it as the promo, which was the shopping center. It's the biggest shopping center in the Southern Hemisphere, Chadstone, down here in Melbourne. And we did a wayfinding experience in their luxury area of their store. And then we've got a new one now that came up just yesterday. It's in partnership with City of Melbourne. We're doing an outdoor version of this within key areas within the CBD to allow people to move around the space. So let's start. This is just a quick little promo of the larger piece that we're doing for Chadstone in the shopping center, just to give you an overview of what we're going to be releasing and creating today.
And this is the largest shopping mall in the Southern Hemisphere, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So the idea being that we want to make sure that this was working in larger buildings, larger properties, to make sure they get the full experience of getting A to B. So yeah, tune in for this.
Just make sure it's on. Oh, I'll play the music. So there's a bit to unpack there. I know it's a really short video, but there's a number of pieces of technology that are used within that. Obviously, you see the wayfinding, the nodes that help you move, your location-based. We even put tags in there to be able to buy something directly through AR. And there's also our fantastic engineer, Phil, which you may have got a glimpse of, one of the hardworking individuals that have made this all come to reality.
Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to Phil and Ian. So let's dive into it. So to start a digital twin experience and an AR Connect experience, we need to go through Captured, Creator Studio, and some alignment points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is take you through the process from start to finish. It starts off on your Captured dashboard, setting an alignment point, which I'm going to show you now. And then after you've set those alignment points, then we're going to switch over into the app to then launch the experience within AR Connect. So let's jump on to Captured. As you can see here, we've got our property that we're going to be using. And we're going to just click on the AR Connect tab within the property and create an alignment point. So I'm going to find an alignment point that I want to set to be able to match up within the AR Connect app itself afterwards. This is actually based off a bit of an art tour. So in our office, we've got some amazing art pieces that we're going to be setting alignment points and wayfinding points for to show you guys how that can be done at home to navigate to a particular piece of art and then give more information about the artist itself. So that's kind of the theme going forward for this example.
Couple of things with alignment points. Obviously, one, we're going to be placing a big update. It was those two there, so that one and the one next to it.
Perfect.
Back there. You want to be super accurate with your alignment points. So what we're doing here is setting 2 points of reference that we do in the digital twin and the on-site. And the more accurate you are, the better the alignment is. So Alex is going between 2 points here. And you can see here, he's putting it from light switch to light switch across a white pole. And so you can be super accurate both in the tour and on site. You couldn't see Alex, but he was actually clicking the shift button while he was doing the measurement as well. It prevents the snapping tool in Matterport and lets you do a lot more accuracy. And
just as a bit of background on this as well, we're going to be setting alignment points onto structures that don't change throughout the property. So this is a good example. You know, these plug points, they're not really going to be changed unless heavy renovations have been done. Also doorways, entryways to doors is another good one. So with these alignment points, you should be setting them sort of every 5 to 10 meters or so. If you're in a larger space, just make sure you're setting them at those incremental periods to make sure the alignment's on throughout the whole scan. So there we go. We've set our 2 points. We can just go through the onboarding for this. We're going to name the alignment point the artist, which is the very talented Adnate. And there we go. You can see now that's been created within the desktop app. And if we scroll down to the bottom, there it is right there. So you can see how it says action required now that we've created that alignment point. So this needs to be activated in the AR Connect app, which we're going to go through now and show you. But before that, what we're going to do is curate our wayfinding points.
I was just going to quickly say something on alignment points. So we set a whole bunch of these, and as an admin, you'll go back through, and we'll show this in a second to set it on site. And you can see we've got doorways and walkways as the primary area. And so you go and set these up as an admin, but the end user never actually sees these. They'll see the first one that they start at, and then the rest of them throughout the space automatically aligning. And you'll see this in a video that we've created to help realign the space, bring all your assets back into the exact location where they need to be. And so it's a bit of a setup on the admin side, but the end user has a really simple process to see it. And we'll show both sides of that as well.
Yeah, good shout. Thanks for that, Steve. So what we're going to do now, we've set the alignment points up. Before we go into AR Connect, we're going to actually jump into the Creator Studio in Captured for this particular tour. And we're going to create some wayfinding points of where we want to go. And as well as a bit of information, some custom tags, as well as some media embed to showcase the art pieces a little bit more. So what we'll do is we'll turn around and we'll go into this one here. So, whoops, there we go. So what we're going to do is jump into this piece of artwork here. So being showcased on the entire wall here was an artist called Dose, very, very talented guy. And what we're going to do is jump onto the media first, and previously uploaded this video already, but we're going to click the thumbnail and we're just going to place it on this blue board. It's not even a white board, it's a blue board. Yeah, a purple board. And what we'll do is just scale that up a little bit to fit that within the dimensions of that board. Perfect. And then we're going to set an alignment point. Just before I do that though, you can see we've created a custom tag in here as well. So within this tag, we've actually linked Dose's website so that when we view the experience in AR, the end user can have a direct link straight to their website that's embedded within this custom tag here. We can also change up the designs for this as well, changing the billboard size that appears, the color, the background color of the module, and also the text as well, stem height and length of the tag, and then obviously the icon that we've changed as well. So what we'll do is jump back into here and then set our wayfinding point. So we can click on the AR Connect tab in Creator Studio. And we can either place these wayfinding points in floor plan view or first person view. What I'll do now is I'll jump back in to the tour. And we're going to create a wayfinding point, and we're going to place that right here. So this will be called Dose. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah, I think my fingers are getting a bit too podgy. I need to
too much lockdown, not enough exercise.
Exactly.
You can see that tag stayed there though, so it's saving as you're going.
Tag's pretty persistent. We'll just go on to edit, and we'll call that Dose. We can change the icon size. We'll put that in as medium for now. And then we're going to upload a thumbnail, which is a reference point of where this final destination is. So we can click to upload a thumbnail. There we go. We have Dose there. And then we're going to click save. So that wayfinding point is absolutely locked in. What we're going to do is go upstairs as well and just do one more, just to show you kind of how this works and to space it out into different areas of the model. And let's click wayfinding point. We'll add one in just here. And again, we'll give it a custom name. Oh my goodness, my fingers. How dare I?
I'm gonna get you a bigger keyboard.
How dare I? That is unacceptable. Right. So again, the marker's stayed. We can just click edit. I'm going to call that Add Nate again.
So a couple of things here as Alex is putting this through and he's uploading the image again. You can see that these drop points, originally we used matter tags as wayfinding locations, and we'll probably bring that back as an option to turn them on in the future. But we also wanted to give the ability to just go to particular locations that don't have matter tags. And that's why we've brought in the wayfinding points. And so you can be a little bit more unique with them in terms of the size, the location, having an image associated to it, and everything else around it. You can see it's super quick, a couple of clicks and you've set a point that you can now navigate to.
Awesome. Yeah. And just again, we've also embedded a website and a custom tag within this art piece as well, just for the end user to be able to explore in a bit more detail.
Do you want to put that video, the time lapse?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So again, we can put the video up for this particular artist. Let's put it over this whiteboard here.
Pretty good.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
We'll place that on there. And then what we're going to do is click publish.
Always publish.
Always publish.
Always.
And so
double publish.
We'll go double publish. What we've got now is we're going to jump back onto a video that we've pre-recorded just to show you how this works within the AR experience itself. So
just before we do, just so you can see it in the virtual tour and then you can see it in the video as well, we're going to have a tour that starts at the bottom of our office. So welcome to our office for those who have never been here before. Let me just jump in. So it's going to walk you through from this front part. Obviously, we've got the media embed, the wayfinding tag, and the custom tag up in that point, through to the next one, which is in our atrium. This is a loosey. See, another wayfinding tag, and we've got a custom tag giving more information. We won't give away what's in those. We have placed the 3D animation in there as part of our Rewild, live on the iOS and app stores, cross promotion. How do you like that? Go for it. Into the third one, which is Saltwater Dreamtime. Coming up our stairway. We've put the tag for this one at the top. It's really interesting as well, and there's a purpose why we did this. Not the art, the art's just beautiful, but the wayfinding is multi-level wayfinding is now available, and also low light settings. And so you'll see when we go up the staircase, the light is horrible and it's going upstairs and it's easily navigating through that space. And so you can see we've got a tag at the top to wayfind you all the way there. And then obviously more information about the artists. You saw what Alex put together here for the Adnate piece, beautiful on the wall. And the last one that we've got here is from Deems, and it is slightly covered. So we've put a tag in here. I'll keep it as a surprise for the video on how you can integrate Sketchfab in different ways, both online and within the AR experience itself. And so that's going to be the journey that we go on. It's going to go through difficulties of low lighting, high lighting, changes of furniture within the space. So what you saw here is going to be different from what the video's in. And so the AR still has alignment in both of those settings and multi-level wayfinding as well. And so it's a few different pieces that all work together in a seamless experience.
Thanks for that, Steve. That's awesome. And just while we showcase this video, feel free to add your questions in. If you have anything for the Q&A at the end, feel free to add them in as you watch the video and as we're presenting, and we will get to all of those at the end.
Might play again.
Cool.
So the alignment setup.
Lovely. So let's play this video. This is now in the AR Connect app. So this is just showing everything we did previously from the desktop version now within AR Connect. This is the screen that you'd see when setting up an alignment point when you first open up AR Connect.
So we'll talk through this. Each of these need to be activated. So as an admin, you see this screen, the end user doesn't. The first thing that you need to do is map your space. And so this is just showing all of the information that you're mapping and collecting. And at the bottom, it gives you a progress bar to show you how far you've gone. This will take about 5 to 10 seconds. What it's doing, it's creating an anchor in the space. And so all the visual information, it's collecting that. And then what it's doing now is asking you to align what Alex did in the desktop version into the application. And so it will show you that line that you drew with the reference image. Now, as accurately as possible, you want to draw that exact same line. So we're going from the PowerPoint to the PowerPoint on top of the white line. And it shows us that we've got the exact same measurement. Step back, make sure it is perfect. Sometimes it can be off in terms of the way that you're looking at it, and then you're confirming it.
Just quickly on that, Steve, as well, I'd say that when you're setting your alignment point, just make sure that you're walking at sort of in an angle side to side. You're drawing it face on, but just kind of walk around that alignment that you've just made, just to make sure that it definitely matches to the position that you've set within desktop, and it's the exact right measurement size as well.
Yeah, perfect. And just on the alignment side, so what we've shown you there is a manual alignment. The reason why we do manual alignments is because if anything changes in the environment, it will continue to persist, and you're just getting a reference. And it's really good for artworks and pieces like this, because you're using that artwork as a reference image. People are going to put their phone towards it to get the information. And what they don't realize is in the background is that we're aligning on that as well. And so everything is in context to where it should be. We have a few updates coming in the very near future with alignment. We're doing, should we let them know or keep it a surprise?
I reckon let's let them know. They've tuned in from around the world. This is straight off the press.
So we're going to be introducing image target alignment. And so that's going to negate a lot of this on-site side of things. And it means that you could use images to automatically align. So you won't have to draw lines. It's going to pick up the image. So you may have seen AR activations in the past where you point your phone at a business card or an artwork and something happens. We're going to be doing that same process, but aligning in the site. And the third one is world alignment. And so with all three of these, we're going to have a synergy of alignments that allow us to have the best outcome for the end user. But for now, back to wayfinding.
Love that. Perfect. Cool. So this is what the end user will be doing. We can just click play, I think, on this video just to showcase.
Maybe mute it because there is some music in it, and make it big.
Awesome.
So this is the end user aligning. And so they're just using their phone to pick up the visual space. Again, it's very similar to the admin one, but we just don't ask them to draw lines. And this is going to be, again, much faster when we have the image alignment side of things. While this is aligning, it's worth pointing out, with all the fluffing around that we've done, we set up an AR Connect space, I would say within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And now on site, you've got this experience ready to go. And so now we're walking through the space, we've aligned. The first thing we've clicked on here is destinations. These are all the wayfinding points that we've clicked. This is the one that Alex just created, DOS, and away we go. And so at the bottom of the screen, you can see a map showing us the path that we're taking. And in front of us in AR, we've got orbs, and these orbs pop up as we're moving. What you saw there was a realignment. And now you can see the media on the left-hand side. This actually has audio in it. We've turned it off because it's just music in the background, and it's showing a time lapse of this art being created. So another really unique way to kind of showcase how you can use the different features within Captured in AR Connect along with the wayfinding to create an amazing experience. We again progress forward to the wayfinding point that we placed on the ground right near the plant. It's perfectly aligned to where Alex placed it. And there you go. We've arrived at our location. Clicking on the tag, I'll do a little bit of a tour of the art.
Quick 12.
Quick 12. The video is still playing, everything's still aligned, we're happy. We really ran this one through the ringer as we kind of put it together. And the website obviously coming through nicely to see the artist's artwork.
Love that. Awesome. And just, yeah, another sort of cheeky future feature release as well is going to be spatial audio. So we've muted the background audio on this. But very, very soon, we're going to have the ability to set spatial audio that will be triggered when you walk to a certain sweep or scan point within AR Connect. So that's going to be really exciting as well. And we're going to keep building on these feature sets throughout the rest of this year. For
anyone that's used Captured's audio, individual audio setting, it's the same thing, but in AR. So we've moved to the next art piece, which is Lucy, an amazing artist, again, from France, but I believe living in Melbourne now. Her beautiful website as well, going through that space. This next one, as we go through, we're going to go up the stairs. So Saltwater Dreamtime. You can see the navigation where we're moving there. We can see the animation that we placed as well within that space. You'll see a couple realignments here as we're moving through the space. It's because of the table tennis table and occlusion, which is a good thing. And so it's moving us around that table. We can still see the polar bear. Did I call it a tiger before?
You think you went polar bear?
You know,
this is a very pale tiger.
Very pale tiger. And then up the staircase we go. And just notice the arrow here. It's going to start facing up. There we go. And it's leading us up the staircase. We have low light settings with colorful lights. And moving up, the arrow is going to continue to move up, and we're going to continue to see orbs in front of us until we get to our destination. It's asking us to turn around because the staircase moves. And then we go to our final destination, and we've reached the Saltwater Dreamtime experience.
Awesome. I think we had also some additional content on there as well. I think we'd
not turn around this run, I don't think. We placed it afterwards.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, this was just a nice way to look at the art. And then finally coming through to our second last destination actually, which you created. Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Adnate. So we've come up now to the top floor, and again, we're just being directed directly over to that art piece. As you can see, we've got that media embed on the wall there. And just walking through until we reach the wayfinding destination, which was here. Again, using that custom tag to integrate some more details in. We've got the media embed that we've integrated in there. Yeah, and a bit of a time lapse there of the artist creating that. So obviously you can see how you're adding kind of different pieces of additional content to complement the art pieces and whatever you're showcasing within the specific wayfinding points.
You're going to see a little bit of UX here. The tag is quite small, and as we get closer to it, it's going to animate in. We did this for a lot of museums that had a lot of tags in the same area, and it could be quite congested. We're going to create this as a setting, so you can have it as an animated or non-animated tag, but we just wanted to showcase to you on that side there as well. And the last one, which is Deems, another amazing artist here in Melbourne. We're going to be walking around. Sorry for my shaking hands. It took me a while to hold this camera while I was walking through it. And be still. Got to our final location here. And then what we did with this tag was integrated Sketchfab into the tag. So not into the model, but into the tag itself. And so you'll see when I click on this, I'll make it full screen. Hope I make it full screen. Maybe I kept it in small. So you're bringing in the Sketchfab player. And I'm actually playing with this in AR in the tag. And so I'm zooming in and out, and I can see exactly what that artwork looks like before all the furniture was there as well. And so just a really nice use case of all that put together. What you would have noticed is each one of those paths, we just took were quite short. And so what we wanted to show you was a longer path. And so we're going to go back down to the Lucy piece. So again, going through staircases, multi-level, going through different lighting conditions, and it's a much longer path. I just realized something that we didn't go through. If I just go back to here for a second.
Just while you're doing that, Steve, as well. Yeah, you can obviously see when you're selecting the wayfinding point that the different distances are provided within there.
That's exactly what I was going to show. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I'll just let this load for a second. So I'll pause it there. This is really some really smart stuff. And there's two things we'll talk through as we're showing the last walk. But you can see here, it gives you a rough time of walking distance to the next location or location that you'd like to go to, and also the distance in meters. And so if I play this through right now, we're selecting the Lucy one, which was the one downstairs in what we call our atrium of our office. And as we're going in the top left-hand corner, you'll see distance till destination. So that 37.9 will start dropping as we're moving towards the space in itself. And you can also see it in the map in the bottom of the camera field that we're moving through the space. So this has got some UI saying down to level 1. And so we follow the arrow down to level 1. I started running a little bit, so excuse my poor camera work. Through the low lighting section of the staircase, and multiple lighting, I should say, of the staircase, all the way through towards the exit. Our wayfinding bubbles pop back up, or nodes, I should say. And the arrow continues to point. We've got our polar bear, still having a great time. We navigate through the atrium and directly to our last destination. And just fortunately, there was actually a wayfinding carpet on that point. We didn't plan that. And that's that. So let's jump out of there.
Awesome. Right. Oh, skipping forward a little bit there.
So before we say thank you, let's take on some Q&A. So a quick recap. I'll just stop sharing the screen for now. We went through, we scanned the space, obviously, with Matterport. That was with a Pro 2, if you're wondering. We have done tests with the Access. I don't think we've done a Pro 1 test, but I assume if it works with the Access, it would work with the Pro 2.
Definitely.
And we have done a couple of tests with the BLK as well. So it works across all of the devices that are capturing, and then brings it into Captured, or first Matterport, then bring it into Captured. We set up our alignment points, more accurate the better. You go into the creator studio and you bring your flair in, be it audio, media, virtual staging, wayfinding points, which we showcased obviously today, and then go test it on site. And that whole process is relatively easy, plug and play, as you saw, no development requirements needed, and super quick.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, that was perfect. And just to add, everything that we have in the desktop Captured Creator Studio, we're migrating over into AR Connect as well. So all of those features pretty much now are available within AR Connect, but we'll be adding the remaining points in after that.
I can see a lot of questions, so let's dive in. If you have some questions as we're going through, please put it in the Q&A. We'll try and get through all of them. I see a really important one here from Wade, reminding us, when you're drawing those lines in AR Connect, both in the desktop player and in the application, you want to go left to right. If you do left to right on your computer and then go right to left in the real world, it's going to flip everything around 180 degrees and you're going to have a bad time. And so you want to go left to right, and then left to right, and everything's going to be physically aligned. Again, this is our first instance of aligning manually. We're going to have 2 more versions of this to make it easier and more efficient in the future as well.
Great question, Wade.
All right, Kevin Cook, will this work with multi-level shopping center that has stairs, escalators, and elevators? Would you like this one?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So our talented developers have been working really hard to be able to, achieve that multi-level wayfinding, as you just saw with the stairs example. So when you get to a set of stairs, whether you're going up, the arrow will point upwards and lead you up those stairs, and then also to go down as well. There will be that UX there to have the option to go downstairs. The arrow would then point down. So the answer is yeah, absolutely. We've been tinkering with that feature to trying to get it right before we launched, and really happy with how that multi-level has worked out.
There's one slight adjustment to that. So Kevin has asked about elevators as well. So escalators, absolutely, they're pretty much just electronic stairs. It will work the same way. An elevator is difficult because you need visual understanding to have for the application to work, and you need internet. 2 things that you need for it to work. And in an elevator, you frequently lose internet connection, and the space is the same no matter what floor you're on. And so there's some tests that we're running at the moment to solve for that. But at the moment, I'd say stairs and escalators 100%, elevators not reliable ways of moving through a path. But we also recognize that it's necessary. We want to bring in a whole layer of accessibility. With accessibility, you need to be able to lead people to an elevator to be able to go in and out safely. And so there's a few different solutions we're trying to create, but right now I'll just stick towards stairs and escalators.
Yeah, good point. Actually, yeah, I missed the elevators part of it, but stairs, escalators, you're absolutely golden. Another question from Yusuf. They said, so can you please briefly explain what is an alignment point and what is it for? Yeah, great question. So the alignment points are essentially matching up the Matterport digital model that you've made with the physical space itself. So what you're going to be doing is going onto your Matterport model and setting a point of alignment as a reference point for when you're in AR Connect. So going into AR Connect on desktop, setting that alignment point, and then when you're coming into AR Connect, you're matching that alignment point in the physical space to basically align the digital and the physical together. So they're exactly aligned with each other, so that when you're moving your phone or device, it knows exactly where the end user is in relation to that alignment point. And that's why it's quite good for larger spaces to set multiple alignment points. We recommend every 5 to 10 meters or so, just to be able to have that consistency when you're moving around the model and making sure everything is aligned as best as possible. So yeah, hope that answers that question, Yusuf.
Beautiful. There's a couple more here in the chat side we'll get to, and then into the Q&A. Carlos, it seems really easy, but I suppose you've got tutorial videos. Yes, we are creating more and more tutorial videos, and you'll see more and hear more of Alex putting these through into our Zendesk. And the second one here from Kevin, which is another really good question, is what's the uptake been on the test sites and what are the users saying about it? We've got some amazing data to back up the use cases in terms of what we're working with at the moment in the educational facility. It's being used daily, multiple times a day by different groups of kids aged between 8 and 16. It's a animated recycling experience. They walk into an empty room and they see how recycling works with virtual staging that they've brought into that space. And so that's been working amazingly for about 6 months now. So much so that customer has now come back, and we're doing another project with them, which is 5 times the size and cost and everything else around it. And so that in itself, I think, is the proof in the pudding that we've built something as a prototype. The customers loved it, come back within the same year to go again. With the shopping center one, we are only just putting that into market. Now it's going to be in closed beta. There's a few legal things that we're working around with that in terms of privacy, but we're now getting to the point where we can release that one live. And then the third one, the one with the City of Melbourne, is yet to be built just yet. But we did do one with the City of Melbourne in the park 2 years ago. It was for Argyle Square, for anyone that lives in Melbourne, and it was showing all of the IoT sensors within that park and the data that it was collecting within it. That ran for a week, but it was so successful that we've now made it available on the App Store. So anyone can download that when in the park and see the different pieces of information on weather and usage of different pieces of equipment within that park.
Awesome. Next question from Ricardo. He said, this will only work with your AR Connect app, or if you have an SDK to integrate into other apps? Good question. So for now, the experience is only available within the AR Connect app itself. We are looking at potentially in the future to have white labeled versions of the app that then you can use to distribute to your different clients. But yeah, at the moment, currently, it only operates within the AR Connect app, which is downloadable for free from the Android and Apple stores.
Beautiful. And there's two questions here that kind of go side by side. Jose and Daniel. Jose asked, does the phone need to have Lidar to work? And Daniel was talking about the uses of animation, the size, and what devices you need to use for it. You don't need Lidar for this to work. It's using VPS, so visual positioning systems. And so it's using just the camera within the space. But if you did have Lidar on a camera, on your phone, the alignment is going to be better and the experience is going to be smoother. And also, if you have Lidar on your phone, it means that it's a newer phone, which has higher RAM, bigger batteries and everything else. So it's going to be a better experience, but that's not to say it's not going to work on lower phones. We were having a session yesterday on what's the lowest phone that we believe this would work on really effectively. And we think it's going back to 2018 or 19, those generations of Android and iOS phones, and forward from there. And to the rest of your point, Daniel, 12 megabytes per animation. If there's 3 of them in a room, that's completely fine. You want to be sticking under 100 and 150 megabytes within a single space. And so that amount should have been fine. I'm curious to know what device you're using that had the issues. I'd also recommend trying it again. We've made a lot of updates within both Captured and AR Connect. So if you've still got that space available, try updating the app and seeing if you can view the animations now within your space. If there were Sketchfab animations, there was an initial issue with Sketchfab in AR Connect, but that was very, very early on, which has been resolved now.
Awesome. Another one from Jaffe Lamb. He says, very cool feature. Thank you, Jaffe. Is the AR wayfinding working for huge spaces like a shopping mall? Yeah, so absolutely. I hope you saw the video of Chadstone Shopping Centre. We did some activations there with wayfinding and it was really successful. I think the key here, if you're working with very, very large spaces, is to make sure that those alignment points are as accurate as possible. Obviously, with a larger space, it just becomes a lot more important so that the alignment stays persistent and accurate the entire way through the user's journey through whatever property they're in. So yes, it does work in larger spaces. It will just mean that you'll need to place a few more alignment points throughout the space, again, every 5 to 10 meters, and making sure those alignments are absolutely bang on accurate in terms of the desktop version and aligning in AR Connect.
Beautiful. I'm going to take Andrew Lowy's question, but let's get back to Tori, the one after. So Andrew's just asking how much. Great question. So right now you'll see that AR Connect is part of the Creator Studio subset of features, and for any current Capture customers or anyone that isn't, it's currently under our beta tag. The reason why it's under our beta tag is that we've been putting a lot of time and effort into getting all of these features prim and proper, and we're not currently charging for them. And so you unlock the Creator Studio with the overlay fee, which is $7 one-off fee, no monthly hosting, no nothing, and you get access to all the features that we went through today. We will precursor this that there will be charges for both Creator Studio and AR Connect in the future. It's not going to be an exorbitant amount. It is going to be a monthly amount, but anything that gets put into Captured and AR Connect prior to us changing that, we won't charge you for that in the future. And so now is the best time to throw in some tests, get things up and running, even get some client work going, because the cost of it's not going to change for you right now, being early adopters. And what we are hoping for is feedback. Because as early adopters, we want to make sure that the tools that we're creating for you are allowing you to go generate business. There's no point us creating a wealth of tools that charge too much and you can't actually make money out of it. No one wins in this situation. And so our process here is get it into the hands of early adopters, make sure that it's working and it's functional for their business profiles. And then we'll start bringing in those business mechanics in the future. But right now, there's no better time to jump in. $7, any tour, all the features, one-off cost. Jump on in and give it a crack.
Bargain. Yeah, no, that's great. Tori's question, would we be able to switch the distance to imperial, feet versus meters? The answer is yes, but not quite yet. We're going to be changing having the ability to change those measurement types in the near future. For now, it's just meters as we've launched, but that will be coming very soon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the settings page, which we didn't show it's coming, you're right, but we've created a new settings page in the app. You'll be able to toggle all these things on and off. It's a super simple fix. It's just a quick maths equation that will turn that on. So you can expect that feature to be released in the very near future, if not one of the next updates of the application itself.
Awesome.
You want to go?
I can take this one. Yeah, Fiona. Hey, Fiona. Hope you're all good. Great to see you tuning in. How do you see this working in museums that regularly change their exhibitions or exhibits? Really good question. It really depends on whether they're going to be placed. The new exhibitions are going to have artwork placed in different places, or whether they would stay consistent, i.e., you know, a picture, a piece of artwork goes in the same position on the wall for the next exhibition, then you don't need to rescan it. You'll just be able to change the tags and change the content. But yes, if they're going to be changing where those art pieces are within the gallery, then it would require a rescan just to be able to make sure that everything is aligned and accurate as possible. So yeah, it's a great question. It really just depends on the museum and how they're reworking and reorganizing things within there, if there's much change or not.
Do you mind if I quickly add something to that?
Please.
And so there's something, one of the projects that we didn't talk about yet is the Australian Museum. We did a DTX for them for a project called Unsettled, and it actually won a whole bunch of awards for virtual tour, especially with the AR component connected to it. There's two ways that, from a business point of view, that I can see this working really well, and we've done both to decent success with both cases. One is you are their service provider, and so you go, all right, we set this space up, we've scanned it baseline, so completely empty, and every time you want to place new artwork in there, we can either come through and do a new scan. That's up for you to figure out if that's worth your business model, or you just have it in captured and you reapply those tags within that space itself, and there's a fee for you to do that, right? And then go back out. The alignment will always stay the same. You only have to align once, unless there's some structural changes within that exhibition space, but the tags will come up with different information in different locations. The other one, which we're doing at the moment, which I really like, especially for those of you who are busy out there, is giving access to your customer to create a studio so they can curate their own exhibitions. This requires a separate captured account. Obviously, we are doing some work to have access through our client portal. That's a while away, but for now it's just a separate account. And then they can go in and update it as they need. And so again, you can still charge them a monthly fee for access to this service, and then they go through and update things as and when they need them. And so it's off of your hands, but there's still an opportunity for the revenue side. It's going to be a smaller revenue than you doing it all. And so it's one of those things that you want to kind of weigh up the customer relationship and what the opportunity is as well.
Yeah, great shout. Jaffe just mentioned, please show us where to find the tutorial. The wayfinding tutorial should be on straight after this webinar on our support pages. So you can reach those by just typing captured support into Google, or on your dashboard in the very bottom left corner of your dashboard, there's a support button option, and that will take you straight to our library where we have a breakdown of all of our features and services, including AR wayfinding, and we'll keep adding to that article with videos and helpful tips as well, as we progress and launch more features.
Beautiful. Jose, we answered the Lidar question before, but just in case you missed it, it will work better with Lidar, but it's not preventing anyone else from trying it. We test on the lowest common denominator phone to make sure that it works on that and work up from there. So it works completely fine. I highly recommend giving it a try in your local area, in your property, either at home or at the office, to see how it works on different devices. It does work on iPads as well. We didn't mention that before.
Awesome. Hey, Mehmet, how are you doing? Great to hear from you. So Mehmet says this is a very cool feature. He's got a big area, for example, 3,000 square meters for 2 different floors. So when I scan each floor, they have a different Matterport model. Is it possible to navigate also to separated models? So good question.
Great question.
Great question. So currently we are activating this experience through one Matterport scan only, to be able to link. But you can obviously set this up with multiple different models in your captured account. You'll have to just skip between the 2 different models in the AR Connect app, and set those alignment points separately. So we're going to be looking towards a multi-model feature to be kind of more inclusive and holistic in the very near future. It's definitely in our products pipeline, and something that we want to introduce for a bit more, to make it a bit more efficient. So yeah, that's where we're at for now. But yeah, watch this space.
Alex is actually leading a project at the moment with We've actually got a number of AR Connect projects. I didn't realize until we start talking about them all. But it's with Series. It's a space down here. It's an outdoor space, environmental space here in Melbourne, and that requires multi-tour. And also another one, request from our partners at the University of Melbourne. We've scanned over 300 of their different facilities on their campus, and I'd love to see this feature work across all of them. And so for those of you who've been to university, those first few weeks are treacherous. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where the rooms are. They're all labeled the same. And so if you can create a wayfinding experience that goes inside, outside, up the stairs, and all through it, it's solving a lot of problems for that sector. It is on our roadmap. We do plan on solving it this year. So keep an eye out for it at the moment.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, in a nutshell, you can't go from one model and get wayfinding to the other model. But yeah, we're going to be working on that very, very soon. At the moment, it will just be two separate models in AR Connect.
I'll take Alan's one. So it's just another feature. It's outside of AR Connect, but it's to do with the tool set of Creator Studio. It's just hiding the circle pucks and large puck cursor. Yeah, that's just a simple SDK edit that we can bring in. We'll have it available in our, what are they called? Our settings systems, URL parameters and settings for virtual tours in the very near future. Thank you for that request. We'll add that in.
Awesome. I think we answered Ricardo asking if it only works in the AR Connect app. Currently, yes.
Did you mention white labeling in the future?
Yes. Well, yeah, we're going to have some white label versions coming in the future that will enable you to kind of just completely brand and white label that AR Connect
Makes complete sense, right? You're going to be doing a job for IKEA or whoever else. They're going to want their own app. We understand that and working towards it, and will coming in the very near future.
Another question from Fiona, just following on from a shopping mall example. Same question for shopping centers where sadly retailers close down. Do you need to rescan the original 3D tour and redo all of the alignment points again? So it's a good question. So if a shop is closing down, essentially, if you're setting alignment points to structures that don't change within the shopping center, i.e. doorways, things like that, that would stay persistent, unless there's a refurbishment of the actual whole shopping mall itself, then yes, you'll need to do a rescan. But for shops closing down and opening, they're essentially just will stay consistent with very little kind of structural renovation taking place. So yeah, that's the way you'd be able to get around that. If you're doing a shopping mall, you won't need to rescan that, because just making sure that you're setting alignment points from the shopping mall itself rather than inside the store. Obviously, if it's a different store that's changing completely and rebranding, you're going to need to add different content inside the store if that's changing. But the shopping center, if you're setting those alignment points structurally inside the main center itself, there wouldn't be any issue of rescanning.
Yeah, agreed. What we've found in the past is you're either doing the center or the store. We've never come up against the project, but I'm sure it's an opportunity out there to do both. And so if you're scanning the shopping center to navigate between stores, you're going to be on pathways anyway. And so that's not going to change in terms of the walkways within the store. And if you're obviously scanning the store itself, that's a different experience altogether. When the end user is using AR Connect, does it matter which alignment point they start at the experience? No, great question. So you set up all of these alignment points, and when the end user opens the experience, it's going to show them the nearest alignment point to them using GPS, rough GPS coordinates. And so it's going to show them in order of what's close to them. They go to that site, and then they can start. The experience will start the exact same way as it would in any other piece. Good question.
Yeah, great question there. Question from Andrew: will you support us with the first projects? If so, how much support? Good question. Well, good news. That's what I'm here for. Always happy to kind of help onboard you to the features that we have, AR Connect and Captured. We can set up a meeting, online meeting and screen share, and we can talk through it. And yeah, in a nutshell, more than happy to support and help you with whatever you need to get set up.
Absolutely. We make these tools so all of you can make the use out of it. So let us know how we can help you. About elevators in malls, how you resolve that. Is it possible? Lock, change the automation of the navigation. So the current thinking, we're giving away a little bit of our secret sauce here, but it's a tough one to solve in any case. The current process that we're thinking of for elevators is going to help with the image target side of things when we release it. And so you can lose alignment in the elevator, but as soon as you walk out of the elevator, if the camera can pick up where you are, it can continue on with the experience. You can do this, and something that we haven't mentioned today is the use of aids within an experience. And so like things like QR codes or artworks. And so if you're doing a huge piece that you want to use elevators in, you could set up QR codes outside the elevator, whether it's on a wall or somewhere nearby, to realign your experience. And all they need to do is wave their phone over it and it will connect them exactly to where they are. And so that's the current thinking around the solution there. But we've got a little bit of a way to figure that one out.
Just quickly, Dapo as well. He Dapo just saying you were having a couple of issues connecting with your API setup and your tokens. I think let's just continue this through our customer support channel, support@captured.io, or email me directly and we can just look into that specific case for you and help you out and make sure you're all set up and ready to go.
But Dapo does bring up a good point that we didn't mention today, connecting Captured and Matterport via the API. Previously, we did this through a very cumbersome process of getting you to get your token IDs and copy and paste them over here and place them over there. Not the safest process, not the most foolproof process either. Matterport have released access through OAuth. And so you would have all used this in the past, signing into something with Facebook or Google. That's OAuth. And so we've now got that connection with Matterport. You'll see the button in the bottom left-hand menu on the dashboard in Captured. Connect to Matterport, it's a red button, click on it, you OAuth into it, and we connect up the API side of things. Relatively easy, nice, quick and smart.
Perfect. Alan Smith just asking if I was doing a wedding at a reception hall and captured the space ahead of time and then the tables were configured differently, would I run into an issue? So kind of similar to what Fiona was asking about the shopping mall. The answer is that if you're setting your alignment points in structural foundations, i.e. doorways, things that don't change plug point to plug point, that kind of thing, things that won't change just through a simple table variation setup, then you're absolutely fine. If you're setting alignment points on the table and then the table gets moved halfway across the room, then yes, that will cause issues, which is why it's just really important to note that just making sure you're setting that alignment point to structural things in the buildings that don't change or very, very rarely change through kind of minor, variations and minor refurbishments and things like that. So you should be absolutely fine. What you might find if the tables are reconfigured is that some of the orbs might be slightly more on towards the tables depending on the variation, but the experience will work to lead you to that final wayfinding destination.
Beautiful. There's a question here I'd like to jump on from Jaffe in terms of how does this solution differ from other wayfinding solutions, but then also solutions outside of Matterport. So there's two answers here. Third-party providers in Matterport doing something similar, and then things that aren't even connected to Matterport. Let's start with the companies that are doing similar pieces to this. There's a couple of them out there. What's the key difference here is development knowledge and requirements. And so with a lot of them, you need to have a little bit of an understanding on how to use Unity, or at a minimum, things like Adobe Shop, just because it requires that skill set, where as we saw today, as is completely plug and play. So within minutes, you've got an exact alignment. The other part is around the alignment side. All of them are using a system called PTC Vuforia. And so it's a cost to connect a world alignment, which we're going to be bringing in our own version of this in the near future. But also to the question about the wedding venue, if something changes, even the smaller, so chairs move, tables move, the alignment no longer works because it can't figure out where it is, because it's using the entire world space to understand where it is. And so it's not as reliable in spaces that are changing, and it requires development skills to do. And so they're the two key differences around why AR Connect is different to the other ones in the marketplace. And the second one is, how does this differ from other solutions in the market? So Apple has an experience out with their Apple Maps, and Google has one obviously in Google Maps in outdoor areas. Almost both of them, don't work indoors. Apple has a different schematic map that you can use indoors, but it's not AR, but it does work similar to maps, but it requires beacons. And so a lot of the other experiences, especially indoor experiences that you see out there, require Bluetooth beacons. We've stayed away from Bluetooth beacons for a number of different reasons. One, future-proofing the technology. We believe that there is a better way to do it and it won't require hardware installation. And so hardware installation cost is another piece there, outdating of those Bluetooth equipment pieces. And also, as technology advances, our application can progress with an update rather than a hardware update as well. And so those pieces all put together, it makes it a much more cost-effective experience. Those other ones are hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up and maintain, whereas these ones, as you saw today, are quick, cheap, and effective, but are providing the exact same solution, if not better, with the AR experiences that were played in there, as well as the media, the assets, the audio, everything else connected to it, whereas the other ones are either a wayfinding solution or an experience solution. And so hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, great answer. So we've got another one. Do the alignment points need to be horizontal? Again, another great question. The answer is yes, they do. So as we mentioned before, the alignment points need to go from left to right. That's very, very important to make sure that alignment point is set correctly and you're able to activate the space with the most efficient and accurate alignment point. So yes, always horizontal and always left to right is the answer.
Beautiful. We're finished all of the questions, which is amazing. We've got 2 minutes left. We're going to let you all get back to your day, but we really want to thank you for joining us on this webinar. Our team is going to package this all up and send it out either later today or early tomorrow, so you can review it. All of the support articles are going to be live for you to test yourself. The feature we actually released a day ago on Captured. We just didn't say anything, but you can now go into Creator Studio, see the AR Connect side of things, and place wayfinding tags. Just note, to get access to AR Connect in Creator Studio, you need to set up an alignment point in beforehand, before going into Creator Studio. So if you just jump in and try and set a wayfinding point, you'll see that it won't allow you to, but make sure you set up an alignment point first, and then you can come back in and do all of your wayfinding setups. For those of you who have Captured, jump in on an existing space, test it out. We'd love to hear your feedback. For those of you who are new to Captured, please sign up. We have a free trial that gives you access to everything we've spoken to today for free. Again, we'd love your feedback as well. Send any videos through on CCG. We didn't mention CCG once.
Very true.
Our marketing team is going to not like us. Please join CCG. It's our Facebook group that has all of the updates. You're the first to know. Share your problems, solutions, everything else within that space. I believe there's a link now in the chat on the Facebook group there. So Captured the community group.
Yep, that's the one. And also our 24-hour customer service team, always happy to help, as well as myself. If anyone wants to set up a brief screen share, online demo, we can do that as well, just to answer any questions you have. And I'm more than happy to help onboard everyone to start creating awesome AR experiences.
That's it. Between our team that we're kind of working on it, we've got decades and decades of experience, both in virtual tours and in augmented reality experiences. If you have a thought around a business problem or anything like that, hit us up on our support page, on our support line. And one of our experts will get back to you. We love this. We live for this stuff. And we want to see all of you become successful using these tools. So let us know if you have any questions. Alex, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Stephen.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
Till next time.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Cheers for tuning in.
Have a good one.
See you soon.
Bye.